This is the third round of the World Rally Championship, and we're in Mexico. It's only the second time this country's hosted a WRC round, and since last year, word of the event has spread, attracting even larger crowds, with fans eager to see the best drivers in the world in action. Final day of the rally, based around the northern city of León, features just 2 stages, but the last test 44 kilometers. And this is what awaits the crews. Rally Mexico is a classic gravel challenge, a mixture of technical twisty sections and flat-out high-speed blasts through the cactus-lined plains. As well as the high speeds, the rally's also proved to be a real car breaker this year. There were some high-profile casualties over the first 2 days. World champion Sebastian Loeb couldn't even make it through the first stage without an early drama. He suffered a damper failure that destroyed a wheel. Frantic dash to service on 3 didn't go unnoticed by the local police, but he is still in the rally and he's clawed his way back into the points after losing nearly 4 minutes. Yanni Parsnan making his second appearance of the year for Skoda. An evolution of the Fabia gave the Czech team hope before the event, but a crucial mistake by the Finn cost him his rally on the first day. Roman Cresta was Ford's leading driver, but his best performance for the Blue Oval would come to nothing, a breaking end to his weekend. Aussie Chris Atkinson was excelling on his favourite gravel surface in only his second rally for Subaru, running 5th until power steering failure forced him off the road. Daniel Sola making his first appearance for Ford, the pressure expectation perhaps preying on his mind. Whatever, he had a huge crash. Thankfully, Danny and co-driver Javier Amigo were unhurt. Same couldn't be quite said for their Ford Focus, though.
I'm really disappointed with me, because I'm here for 2. Okay, this is what happened.
An early N2 for Citroën's François Duval, engine problems.
Some flashing very, very low, and the water temperature is really, really high as well. And it's not possible to continue.
Duval, the Estonian lies second in the Drivers' Championship, and his consistent approach again is paying dividends. Marcus Grönholm's been running second in the 2 previous rounds of the championship on Saturday, only to throw it away on the final day both times. So the Finns need for 8 points. That should make things comfortable on the final day for leader Petter Solberg. Far too experienced to believe he's won before he's crossed the finish line. The stage is set for a tense climax as Solberg closes on his 2nd straight win of the season. The gap from Solberg to Grönholm, Gardemeister and Rovanperä for 4th, just 1.4 seconds separating the Finns. So the first of the final day's stages, 18 kilometers long. Classic Mexican scenery and big, big crowds on hand. Armin Schwartz back for the first round, just outside the points in 9th for Skoda, but the gap to 8th is so great that the German must have somebody ahead suffer a major problem to give him that position and that point. Sebastian Loeb has a real chance of moving up from the 4th and 5th placed Rovanperä Gardemeister battle, and with 2 stages remaining, the world champion is giving it his all. It's a fast-flowing stage with lots of quick downhill sections, and Loeb's smooth, precise style is perfectly suited to these conditions. He's looking incredibly committed. The 2 Finns will certainly struggle to match his pace. It's been a torrid weekend for Loeb. He had drama on the failure on the first stage, dropped him out of any chance of contention. Down to 18th, he's now looking at positions halfway up.
I had a good drive, but I chose some hard compound tire because the next one is very long, and this one it was very slippery for me. But perhaps a bit softer was better. But okay, we'll see the time from the other, and we'll try to do everything we can, and we'll see at the end of the rally.
More concerned with catching Gardemeister ahead of him than worrying about Loeb behind. The Finn closed right up on his compatriot to make up. huge jump there. He looks fired up on this final morning. Beaten only by Loeb, Rovanperä has really got the bit between his teeth on the penultimate stage of the rally. A very respectable performance indeed from the Mitsubishi. Gardemeister is next up on the stage. The Finn's been out of sorts for most of the weekend with a heavy head cold, not helping him defend his perhaps surprise championship lead. This is the Ford driver's first gravel event in the focus. Rovanperä also, of course, switched teams before the season, so both men are... Gardemeister slower than the Mitsubishi by 2.9 seconds, loses fourth by a second and a half. Marco Martin is defying the fact that he struggled at times to get the best from the Peugeot 307 by producing a good turn of speed. He's in a podium position again, winner, and he won't be happy until he has the pace to challenge for top honours. But for the moment, a position on the podium would certainly do.
Crest, 23 left, don't cut.
The Estonian's teammate Marcus Grönholm already has had a year to get used to the 307, and he has shown that the car has got winning potential. It's looking more and more likely, though, that the Finn will have to settle for second best here in Mexico. He'll undoubtedly have other chances to fight for a win with 13 more rallies remaining this year. But on the penultimate test here, Marcus backs off to ensure the car gets to the finish, and he doesn't drop valuable points on a Sunday yet again. And with the Peugeot drivers seemingly content to settle for second and third, that leaves Solberg.
Left, but you really do have to watch out today.
It's a long stages, and one spin, and then it's hard working.
Has it all to do, but with Grönholm backing off, he's free to avoid unnecessary risk. He's closing ever faster on the finish line. It's been a superb debut so far too for the new evolution of the Impreza with a new faultless display of reliability. Quicker than Grönholm again on this 13th and penultimate stage. The Norwegian moves a further 4.4 ahead. To retire from the second day after such a strong showing, is back under the new Super Rally rule, rejoining the final day to gain that valuable experience, as well as keep the possibility of an extra manufacturer's point alive. No change in the top three then, with one stage remaining, but Rovanperä has moved up a position, and Loeb is edging ever closer to fifth position. Atkinson's Saturday accident ripped a wheel off the Subaru and meant the end to a superb run from the Aussie.
Lewis, we're going to see Chris Atkinson and Glenn McNeil in the rally, courtesy of what we call the Super Rally system. Just explain that for us.
Well, last year it was a different format and you didn't score any points. This year we came to an agreement which I think is quite clever. You know, it's the best of the bad solution. Whoever stops in a stage, then all the stages, he takes 5 minutes penalty of all the stages he misses that day. That means that because he stopped 4 stages before the end today, that's 20 minutes penalty. And the car said, Luis, we stop, we retire. I phoned the organizers and I tell, we have retired, the car is in that place, please recover the car for us. They bring the car here, as you can see. They come here, we cannot touch it, the car is in parc fermé now. We cannot touch it, the mechanics can have a look. Now when the engineers tell me what time the car should go, 2 hours, 45 minutes to work in the car and bring it back to parc fermé. And we rejoin the rally tomorrow like a normal day.
So just under 3 hours for the Subaru team to repair the damage to Atkinson's car. Longest service during this rally is 45 minutes, so extra time...
Chris, you're back in the race again this morning under the Super Rally system. You must be a big fan of the system.
Yeah, it obviously helps us with our experience. It's pretty stages, but that's life and we'll get some more experience.
The main advantage is that for a young driver they get to complete the route, and for the fans and for our sponsors and so on, everybody gets to see the most of the cars right through till Sunday afternoon.
Loeb now on a charge. Threaten the podium? Wait and see. So this is it then, the final stage of Rally Mexico, the longest in the World Championship. It's over 44 kilometres. Yanni Parsons, one of the 3 works drivers to have rejoined the rally after crashing out. He on day 1. Standing in the middle of the road, but no damage. Although down in 13th after using the Super Rally rule, is still gaining valuable experience on the final day. The Aussie doesn't quite make it to the finish line though, failing oil pressure, forcing him to pull over with the end just 2 tantalising kilometres away. Trump ended his day 2 participation. He completed the final stage, but he also retired on the way back to service, a benefit of which allows the Citroën team to replace the engine before New Zealand, and that might be critical. So those were the major dramas. Gilles Panizzi had a steady weekend in his first visit to Mexico, finishing in the points again for Mitsubishi. And for the 3rd rally in a row, Mitsubishi's 2 cars have both finished in the points, staging somewhat of a renaissance. We're using virtual spectator. Let's take a look at the 3-way battle for 4th. This is what that 26-second gap looks like on the road. Loeb effectively starting a 44-kilometre stage with a handicap of more than 600 metres. It's a long stage than his 2 rivals over the past 2 days, but can he catch them? This stage contains all the characteristics of Rally Mexico. Really fast sections, the steepest climb in the rally, and it's narrow and twisty in places. At the speed they'll be going, there's danger around every corner. Rovanperä approaching the midway split. Remember, Loeb's already gone through here. Over 21 kilometres, Loeb's already be really close. That's half the gap he needed to make up. 26 seconds, and it's a 44k stage. What about Gardemeister then? Following them both onto the stage. The 47th rally in a row if he can get to the end. That finishes since Monty 2002. Well, Rovanperä coming to the split time. Slower than Loeb, only 0.1 slower than Rovanperä. They might all end up just about tied. From last year's car. There's an unwelcome distraction as something that flies up and hits the windscreen. A stone thrown by a spectator doesn't put Rovanperä off. Loeb approaching the end of the stage after a superb final stage drive. This is the Frenchman at absolutely utter commitment and a stunning time. Now all he can do is wait and see what the others manage.
Now, with your timing here, it's 4th place.
I don't know if it's the 4th place. We have to wait that it's confirmed that I gave everything I could. Like if the rally was only this stage. I was pushing from the start to the end, and I've done a good stage.
Well, Loeb thinks he's done everything humanly possible. Gardemeister and Rovanperä still giving their all to hold on. Over the second half of the stage, Rovanperä's Mitsubishi has been much quicker than Gardemeister's Ford. Gardemeister looks like he will slide all the way down from overnight 4th to 6th. Rovanperä closing at the end of the stage. Not enough to hold off Loeb. Loeb 7 seconds ahead. Rovanperä looks like he's done everything physically possible as well. To put this remarkable drive into context, if the 3 cars battling for 4th had gone into the stage exactly level, by the end Loeb would have beaten Rovanperä by 860 metres and Gardemeister by nearly 900. Well, away from the dramas for 4th, Marco Martins practically cruised to take the final podium place in stage. Almost a minute slower than the lead Estonian. Undoubtedly more speed to come from Martin and his Peugeot as he gets more used to his new mount. No last day heroics either from his teammate Marcus Gronholm, but he has got dramas.
It's never easy for you on a final day of a rally. What's the problem now?
No, I hope it's not a big problem, but the grease is coming out from the drive shaft. So no, it will be dry, the drive shaft, and maybe it can break it when it's a long stage, but I hope not.
So a nervous, long final stage for Gronholm, but so far the car seems okay. Back at the start, rally leader Peter Solberg begins his final push for his first victory on Rally Mexico. He probably should have won here last year, and he's got a great chance to make amends in 2005 for the disappointment of an alternator failure. Well, there's little Gronholm can do to halt Solberg's second-place points so desperately.
Stage is clear for Marcus.
So he makes it to the finish despite that worry over the drive shaft. Peugeot second and third, 14 points Germany in 2003. From start to finish, though, the rallies belong to Peter Solberg. He's heading for his second consecutive win of the season. He won 6 of the rally's 14 stages. The first rally on the debut of the 2005 Subaru Impreza. It wins its maiden event.
It's really good fun. Really good fun. The car is getting better and better the whole time now, and really happy, incredible. I just so pleased. I was so nervous before the rally. So nervous, and I was I was not really happy with the car in this rally like this. Really good fun. That last stage is long.
Certainly taking it out of all of the drivers, but Solberg's winning margin, 34.5 seconds. The 2 Peugeot drivers on the podium. Low shows never give up. But what a great debut for the brand new Subaru Impreza. And if it's going to just get better and better, the rest had better start looking out.
Congratulations on a fine victory and leading the championship now.
It's really good. It's really good. The whole team is just so intact, you know. Everybody is just doing the job up to 110% to where the aim should be, and you know, everybody full year now. And you know, some rallies will be difficult, but we will be there, definitely.
Jean-Pierre, first rally in charge for you and leading the World Rally Championship for manufacturers now. Not a bad weekend.
Yes, sure. It's a good opportunity to arrive and to lead the championship. But what we have to say, it is the result and the work of the team, of the technical team, was done between 2004 and 2005. A lot of work to give this car the maximum reliability.
That's the end of the rally, but not the end of the show. Stay with us for a look back at the season so far and more reaction from Rally Mexico. Just 3 events into the 2005 World Rally Championship, and it's already proving to be a thrill. Peter Solberg set his sights on reclaiming the driver's title this year and started disappointingly on the Monty. Day 3, a misjudgment on a patch of ice ended the Norwegian's fight in Sweden. Peter holding his nerve to claim his first win of the year. The 2005 spec Impreza arrived in Mexico, and it's been a superb debut for the new car with another victory for Solberg. Promising newcomers Stefan Sarazan and Chris Atkinson have provided potential rather than points for Subaru. Sarazan was caught out on the Monty, crashing heavily. Atkinson has been quick but unlucky, both in Sweden.
30 long, 6 right above, 50, flat crest, 40.
Ford's in a year of transition with little development expected until the new Focus arrives in 2006. Tony Gardnermeister began well with a career-best second on the Monty, followed up with another third-place finish in Sweden. Tony was the surprise early leader in the Drivers' Championship.
I'm very happy, you know. First time to be in this position and that we are leading the champion. It's very good.
Ronan Cresta, one of the 3 other drivers to appear this season, please. World Rally champions Sitchin, by their own standards, have had a disappointing start to the year. Began well enough with Sebastian Loeb's victory on the Monty, but in Sweden his chances of a second win ended on the final morning with only his 3rd retirement since the beginning of last season. And his luck hasn't improved much here in Mexico. A damaged shock absorber on the first stage of the event, forcing an inspired fight back. He still claimed 4th. Francois Duval's season began with a bang on the Monty and hasn't improved. The Belgian has not scored any points to date. Marcus Granholm showed impressive pace in the much improved Peugeot 307. Unfortunately, crashes have blighted his quest for points. A collision with a wall ended his push for second on the Monty. And again, battling Petter Solberg for the win on the final day in Sweden. Another spectacular retirement. So when it came to Mexico, and this time he was second again on Saturday, he kept his nerve and his calm to claim those points on Sunday. Marco Martin, his new teammate, has shown consistency rather than total speed, with a fourth, a third and a second. Mitsubishi have improved, though, this year after a disappointing 2004. Panizzi scored the first podium since 2001 for the Japanese team in Monte Carlo. And Gigi Galli's impressive times in Sweden show that the impressive pace of the Lancer was not a one-off. Adding an all-new active differential system for Mexico is another big step.
Monte Carlo, Sweden, this Mexico, 3 rallies, all 2 cars, all finished the rally, then every car got a point. That is very good starting for us.
For Czech team Skoda, it's been a difficult start to the year. Number 1 driver Armin Schwartz suffered a heavy roll on the Monty, dislocating his shoulder in the process. Teammate Yanni Parsonen had a disappointing finish to his Mexico weekend, but with a new car and despite their problems, the team are certainly optimistic for the future.
I think we should be there. I mean, yeah, if it's going well, you can see some really good stage time, and I think if we can get it in some solid performance, then I think we could be there 5, 6, 7 all the time.
3 rallies gone. We've already had 3 different leaders of the World Rally Championship. Solberg now takes over from Tony Gardemeister, who slips to 3rd behind Marco Martin, and Sebastian Loeb, the reigning champion, in 4th. Peugeot's strong showing means they jump above Ford at the top of the manufacturers' table, a far cry from their woes of 2004, and a great start for the new team boss Jean-Pierre Nicolas. Mitsubishi equal with Ford. Citroën, the champions, only 5th. Next up, in 4 weeks' time, New Zealand. Fast-flowing gravel spectacle. Petter Solberg will be looking for his hat-trick to cement his position at the top of the World Rally Championship. You can join us for all the action next month as we head down under for the first time in the season and rally New Zealand. Until then, it's goodbye from me. Bye-bye.